What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Sag. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, Sag. So that melody from last week, I think it's sticking. So good work on that one. And with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Sag. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case you are curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I'd like, Sag, so definitely give them a check out. Very intuitive group. I really enjoy them, so hopefully you'll like them too. But let's get to your first card here, which is, look at you getting a, oh, we might be going in a roundabout situation here, Sag, because you got the third card of Pisces here, which is a roundabout card. With this card, I know I'm like a little over the top right now. Well, like all the time. But with this card, this is a card of community, connections, new directions, keep it moving, controls the flow of information, solutions, circular reasoning, fluid, many working parts, perfect timing, and redirect. So the energies that are coming through here, in which this is like one of my favorite phrases, is the keep it moving. And maybe for some, maybe we've been, because the other energy that was coming through was the connections. And when you think about Pisces energy, Pisces deals with those type of deep connections. They share the ruler Jupiter with you, and if we are at this place where maybe for some, if we find that maybe some of our connections have, and whether this be with people, whether this be to a place, whether this be to like a situation, and if we find that we've reached this state of where either it's like the growth is kind of plateaued or something along those lines, because you being ruled by Jupiter, you are a sign of expansion, a sign of wisdom. Yours is one that needs to be always learning and growing and experiencing life. And if you have something where a situation is kind of keeping you just going in circles and there's no, it's, I keep it moving, Sag. And I mean, even thinking about your sign, I mean, you're like you're a centaur or something. I mean, and that's pretty epic. And even thinking about that, Sagittarius, since you got Pisces here, Pisces is about that duality. And you, in a very kind of abstract sort of way, are a sign of duality as well, to have that fusion of that horse and man. And we're keeping it moving. And I feel that it's looking at connections from a dual sense. It's like, are we, what are some positive things are we getting from these things, and what are some negative things that we're getting from these things? And, are things balancing out? Is it like, is this person, are these negative things that are stuff that are challenging us towards growth, or that are they just bringing us down? It's like, because I feel like with your energy too, being Jupiter ruled, we do need to be mindful of where, yes, you are a sign of abundance and luck and things. We don't want to necessarily always lean on that, or unless because I think we're talking about either one of the last couple readings where it's that understanding of that, of how we're attracting abundance. And yours is a sign where I feel that whatever energy is being brought, it's going to be expanded. So, and that's very broad, you know. So we just want to be mindful of what we do get caught up in, because that may have the potential to blow up out of proportion in a sense. It's kind of similar in the sense of Leo. I have a lot of Leo on my chart, and it's interesting sometimes when you do get caught up in something, how it can form like that. But we want to make sure that we're keeping the energy moving, you know, that we're staying to our mark, you know, the growth and towards the. Yeah, let's get some tarot on this, Sag, and get some details. Let's see what we got here, Sag. I love it. I love it. You and your ruler have been on one. And I love it. It's like there's this connection here, Sag. Because you got your ruler, Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, Mars, and then, oh, hold on. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune is upright here, and then the Tower and the Seven of Wands here are in reverse. And I feel like for some, you know, the Seven of Wands can be like a card of criticisms, and can be a card of, you know, like, just like, and not even just, this could be maybe for some of us, it could be that maybe we are the cause of this roundabout thing. Maybe there's an energy that we've been kind of caught up in. Maybe we've been down on ourselves as far as like, how could we have maybe done something, or maybe we made a move and then now we're in this state of like maybe regret or something along those lines. And that's the case, Sagittarius. We do again want to be mindful of what kind of energies that you're getting into, because if we stay steeped in that energy, with this Tower being in reverse here, this is you taking control of change, you know, control of these situations. There are times where, you know, there is always a sense of control here, Sag. Even when a situation is happening to us, we can at least control how we feel about it, what we think about it logically, and then use that as fuel to get something else grounded. You know what I mean? To start to change some things. But it's this energy here for some, you know, just if it's a self thing, know that if you get caught in this, then that maybe self-criticizing spiral, because the Wheel of Fortune can also be a card of cycles. And yeah, it's just if we find ourselves stuck in one, know that you can get out of it. You know, it's kind of like similar to like that Eight of Swords type of energy, that self-imposed prison. But for some others, I do feel that if this is other people who may be causing this, or again, if it's just like maybe our environment is even kind of harsh or something along those lines there, Sag, then I feel that this is one where we are going to need to take charge again, and just like it's changing, it's changing that this narrative, you know. And then again, if we need to put up boundaries, if we're thinking about maybe moving, whatever this is, it's taking that action. If I'm remembering correctly, this the Seven of Wands, this is Mars and Leo, and it's like that for me. It's like you're gaining your independence back. You know, you're really you're taking control of this destiny in a sense, and realizing the power that you do have in a situation here. Let's get some more on this side. Alright, Sag. So last little bit here, we have the Three of Cups and then the Page of Cups in reverse here. And you know, for some, I feel that with this Three of Cups energy here, this is give me, and this is very soft type of energy here when we're talking about this, but this could be where maybe for some, because the Three of Cups can be a card of celebrations, and in reverse, it could be where we may be ignoring some feelings or something along those lines. Maybe we're staying stuck in this cycle, and instead of taking this action here, maybe we're indulging in some sort of escapism possibly here, Sagittarius. You know, maybe in Sag, you know you're in a judgment-free zone. But if we are resonating with this, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be like your drug, sex, alcohol kind of thing. This could be anything that we're doing in just out of moderation. You know what I mean? Food. This could be TV, whatever this is looking like. But I do feel that if there's something here that's not feeling right, or for it's paying attention to those emotions and seeing what we might be creating here, and then again knowing that you can change the wheel of this destiny here, but we have to acknowledge the fact that if we have been kind of stuck in something for a while and maybe just haven't been wanting to put eyes on it. The second that we do realize that this foundation is rocking or getting rocky, or this hasn't been working, the sooner that things will start getting better. And sure, there may be some hardships at first, even with all this change. Change can be tricky, but it's all going to lead to growth in the end, which is invaluable. Alrighty. Strong start there with your ruler. Let's keep your ruler front and center here, reminding that you got control there, Sag. Let's get another oracle on this. Actually, let's get some tea. And let's get another oracle. Alright, Sag, let's see what we got here. Looks like you got the first card of Capricorns, which is the Tools card. And with this card, this is a card of practical abilities, resources, has what it takes. Application, build it, fix it, organization, help someone, task at hand, well prepared equipment, get stuff done, and masculinity. And the has what it takes is what's sticking out to me here, Sagittarius. And I feel like maybe for some, maybe with this, just piggybacking off this situation here, if we've been thinking that this is too hard for us to change, that maybe this feels out of our control, something along those lines, you do have what it takes. It's reminding ourselves of that power. Yours is a sign of optimism as well, with Jupiter, it represents like joviality and things along those lines. And sometimes that optimism can only go so far. It can get to a place where you can get to where you're chasing it, and that's maybe a whole other thing in itself there, Sagittarius. But I do feel like I feel like it's just like it's being mindful of just like not ignoring the strength that you have, and really believing in that you can take charge of whatever this change is that needs to happen here. But just even on a broader scale, this could even be for some, maybe we're trying to manifest some sort of dream, or maybe even some sort of like let's say, for example, if we're trying to start like a business or something, and then we're getting this place of where maybe some of others have been criticizing us, it hasn't been celebrated like we thought it would, and now we're getting into this place of doubt and things. But it's when I feel that if it's something in your heart and it really resonates with you, you can always find what it takes. Where there's a will, I know this may sound kind of corny, but where there is a will, there is a way. We always can make things work in our favor, and it may not be easy at first. With Capricorn energy, nothing's easy with Capricorn, but it's rewarding. For sure, you keep that tenacity, that perseverance, absolutely. Jupiter, and especially with where your ruler's at right now, I feel like this energy really would sync up nicely there for you, Sag, because your ruler's going to be in Jupiter for the next year. And that's a very abundant spot to get to this place of security, to really develop your foundation and to believe in, and not even just in like material, but this could even be like a self-esteem if we've been feeling like we can't get out of a roundabout thing. So Taurus energy deals with that as well, and Taurus is even in this card. So let's get some tarot on this. Ooh, and there's one of your cards. Alright, Sagittarius, so we got the Nine of Wands. Oh, reversal storm, that's fine. We got the Nine of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and then the Knight of Swords here. And with this energy, Sagittarius, it feels like that it feels like that for some, that maybe we are at this place of we're at this state of maybe exhaustion, where we've kind of, whether it could be physical exhaustion, it can be emotional exhaustion, but it's at this place where we're really feeling kind of challenged here with the Knight of Swords. There's I feel like there's definite kind of slowdown maybe for some of us. Maybe we've been thinking a lot about this, how we're going to be moving on. What does that stability look like? How we're going to, the example that's kind of popping in my head is like, for, let's say, if we're in a marriage and then we're thinking about getting a divorce, but then it's like you got to think about your splitting assets, and then maybe we're working on that, we got to split the house, and then you got to adjust to, you get accustomed to one sort of lifestyle, and now you got to get accustomed to a whole different type of thing. And it's just like all this information, I feel like, coming from the Knight of Swords, it's really starting to put this damper on how we can get to the future, how we can make this work, how we can grow from this thing. But how you can is tackling this stuff one step at a time. It's taking a moment and pausing. And we're in a very kind of constructive time right now. And it's and actually, as I said, that might be what part of this struggle is, if this is something that's resonated with you, if you find something like this in the future. Because Mars and Mercury's going to be entering towards the later of the month, but Mars has been in Virgo for a while, and that's forming squares with your sign, and those put you in weird kind of situations there. But it's like how I was talking with the Tower. It's like where, sure, a situation may be kind of happening to us, but we can still work with this energy. Squares are meant to remind us, even though they're kind of bring tension and delays and things, they remind us of how resourceful we can be in a pinch, and how that can contribute to our legacy, and what we can do all the time, not just when our backs are up against the wall there, Sagittarius. So, yeah, I like that. That's, yeah, thanks for that. That was what's up. All right there, Sagittarius. let me get off my get off my ego there. See, that's all that Leo energy. Let's get some tea, and then let's get your last card here. But you know what, Sagittarius, I was just thinking too, just with how much abundance you do just naturally bring, that is something that, where I'm not, and this is not saying that you aren't grateful, but I would say even just be considering, that you got Jupiter as a ruler. Just stop, just whenever you can, whenever you think about it, just to, just like, man, look at how abundant I am. Like, I'm like, even no matter what's going, especially, like in the good times and the bad, just giving that same energy, like, man, even in all this, I am still so freaking abundant. It's almost unreal. Because it is almost unreal, Sagittarius. Oh, interesting. So you got the 9th card of Pisces here, which is the Cross card. And with this card, this is a card of sacrifice, down for the cause, release, let go, giving up, surrender, puts others first, for the greater good, dogma, heroic effect, purpose-driven, martyrdom, and heed the call. So the energy that's coming through here, Sagittarius, is the release. And part of the first thing that's coming to my head is like more so of the spiritual aspect of your sign, because I feel like that a lot is spent focused on just how lucky and abundant that you are. Oh, I feel that this energy more so is talking about that more spiritual aspect of you, because the fact that, because you're a spiritual sign, and Pisces is a very, very spiritual, very psychic type of energy here, and I feel that there's an energy here of like releasing your releasing yourself to the universe in a sense. Maybe this is however you grow, as far as like, I mean, on more than just like the learning thing, but it's just like maybe trying different forms of, if we don't meditate, maybe exploring different forms of meditation, or maybe different type of healing arts, or something along those lines, Sagittarius, that's coming through. But this release, I feel like maybe there's something that, if there's an aspect of us that maybe if we learn that there would be this release of just like a, like an under, like, you know, like a sigh of relief, like a, hmm, that's interesting there, Sagittarius. But I also feel that maybe for some, if we've been stuck in this roundabout, you know, I feel like that once we get eyes on that thing, and then, because it happens from time to time, Sag, but it's like when we do get eyes on things and we start taking action, I feel like it's appreciating that release as well, and remembering too that this isn't the first time that it's happened. You know, we all spiral from time to time. Sometimes they're short ones, other times they're a little bit longer, but either way, they're meant to teach us something. You know, we're meant to grow in some sort of aspect. So I like that. Let's get some tarot on this. All right, Sag. So you have the Star and the King of Cups in reverse here, and then you have the Page of Pentacles upright. All right, Sagittarius, and let's... Oh, actually, Sag, we can't switch back over because my cameras have decided to go shut off. So, hey, this is so... Don't you love when that happens, Sag? So I'm just like, nature my problem. But with the Star card being here, I feel like that there is something here that's, like, maybe there's something that we do need to let go, or that maybe has been, again, that's been affecting either the way that we've been thinking or the way that we've been feeling, or something along those lines. But I do feel like it's time to plant like a new seed here, you know, to like, because the pages can represent like new opportunities, very youthful type of energy, and you got a couple of them here. And I feel that there's a need for maybe some freshness, you know, for, and maybe even too, just thinking with the Star, maybe we've been kind of tied up in the past, and, you know, and not, it's time to think towards the future. I feel like it's one thing to, you know, to let the past be, to provide us lessons and things, but it's another when we get caught up in it. In Aquarius energy, the Star, they look towards the future, and I feel like it's finding that guiding star again, Sagittarius, and finding how we can get back into this state of balance here, you know, of because maybe for some, especially since you got all this Pisces, well, a couple of Pisces oracle cards with the King of Cups is Pisces for me. He rules the first two deacon of, funny enough, first two deacons of Pisces and the last of Aquarius. And he's that combination of, or he's that emotional wisdom, you know? But and that's where I feel like what can come here when we face this challenge, you know, because the King of Cups, he's thrown on an ocean, and if he were to get caught up in everything that goes down and gets caught up in a roundabout, he'd never make it back up from to the surface again. So it's finding, I feel like, even like, you know, when things get kind of rocky, it's not to say that you need to be just like that you know, that expecting you to be just ready all the time and not to, you know, not to feel affected by a situation, but it's when we've had time to process this stuff, how do we get back again to that state of temperance, your card, you know, state of balance. So all right, Pisces, I think, or Pisces, all right, Sagittarius, I think I'm going to leave that there. I'm actually going to do them next. But if any of that resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Sag, because you know, especially when we do find ourselves, you know, getting caught up in a spiral or something along those lines, you know, or so maybe there's like a loop that's going on in our head. Well, I guess that's the same thing, but you know what I mean. However you do that, and yeah, just share this, Sag, if you know someone, or maybe someone's even like, in the state of like doubt or something, even with just seeing that has what it takes. But and then subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. And then I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and I started a group on there called Zodiac's Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to post positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And then as the group grows, I'm going to start doing different guided meditations, binaural beats, ambient music, things along those lines. Just something to connect with the soul tribe there. But maybe do something like, healing with the stars, something along those lines. Maybe, making change with the tower, manifest in abundance with the wheel of fortune. Just a bunch of ideas, but definitely check that out. And then lastly, you don't get any Cancer cards, but that's fine because you don't need them. If you have any Cancer replacements though, Sun, Moon, Rising, hop on over to my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shit. Oh no, I thought you had got all this Pisces on the brain. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. Let me get it together, Sag, and let me get you surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. And I like that. You got the Queen of Swords here. And with the Queen of Swords, and let me get your Oracle card, I do feel like that there is an understanding that's coming here, from either this release or this thing of knowing that we have what it takes, or even keeping it moving. There's going to be a realization of why this needed to happen, what this change was meant for, And thank you. And let's see what your Oracle card is. Nice. I like this card because you got the Serpent card here upright, and with the Serpent, and hang with me, Sag, because this is very for some, I feel like that this is like a shedding of a skin. You're getting you just shed some old skin, and you're getting into this new form here. But on a when we're talking about that release, that more kind of spiritual side of it, this kind of gives me that sort of like that kind of kundalini type of energy there, Sagittarius, or something very, because the Serpent is very much kind of gets into sort of like that wild side of magic, and that sort of untapped, untamed intuition and things along those lines. Really tapping into source in a really sort of raw kind of way. So I like that. I feel like that for some there is this sense of growth that's maybe happening, like the energies are starting to move there, Sagittarius. So I'm with it, especially how your ruler came out here like this, and then the fact that I think it was last week I think it was last week where you and your ruler came out at the same time. So you're really syncing up with the energies there, Sagittarius. So, pay attention to that. But, alright, I guess I'll get you out of here. So, you stay safe out there with all these potential roundabouts and things, and Kundalini energy. You raise your vibration through the roof, because something here is getting ready to. I do feel like for some there is this sense of like spiritual growth or spiritual ascension or something along those lines. That's really exciting, and I will catch you on the next one later.